Memes are an incredibly prominent part of our lives in 2020, which is crazy, right? Because I feel like less than 5 or 6 years ago, most people didn't even know what memes were. But their mimetic nature has very predictably implanted them into our psyches, and now they're a big part of human communication in 2020. Another big part of humanity, especially mine, is gaming. Explicitly the coming next-gen systems of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. And although I personally prefer the Xbox and the current gen, I can't deny that the PlayStation owns a more prominent space in the culture right now, to the point where there's a whole set of memes about buying the man in your life a brand new PS5. And this is different. Like, what is it with this particular meme trend? Why is it that getting the woman in your life to buy you this new system is some type of accomplishment or badge of honor? Is it just another silly thing from the internet, or is there something deeper here to understand? Well, I'm Fiq the Signifier, and today we're going to try to figure out this thing with a little bit of light work. It's quite likely that you've been seeing memes of this nature maybe daily over the past few months in your social media feeds, ever since it was announced that the PlayStation 5 was going to be released just in time for Christmas 2020. I know I've seen them a ton of times, and like most memes, it's a unique form of nonsensical but somehow incredibly precise and insightful humor. It's hard to explain memes, right? Or I don't know, at least it is to me, probably because I'm old as fuck in comparison to my YouTube peers, but that's kind of the point. Memes are mimetic because they defy explanation, yet they are universally and implicitly understood, at least for the most part, based on the community using the meme. For example, I posted this right after the Anita Baker versus Patti LaBelle battle a few weeks back. Most black folks my age, aka late 30s, early 40s, got it immediately. But if you're under 30 maybe, or not black, there's a strong chance that this may have made absolutely no sense. And even if you are black, if you didn't have a certain type of grandmother, mama, or aunt, you definitely missed me here. Conversely, if you're a good person that doesn't hang around unscrupulous parts of the internet, then this meme won't make any sense to you. Don't judge me. So whenever you're trying to explain a meme, to break it down, you're already doing something wrong, because either you get it or you don't. But sometimes a meme can still hit on a theme or issue that even those who get the meme don't fully get it. They don't fully recognize what it's saying and where it's coming from. And these PS5 Secured memes are a clear example of that. And since I'm low-key an expert in all three connecting intersections on this trend, I figure I'll break it down for everybody so there's no confusion. At the core of this meme is, drum roll please, a critique on patriarchy and toxic masculinity. No, don't stop, don't click away, just follow me for a second, just follow me. As I've touched on in, I guess, 2 videos now, men, especially black men, are expected and to an extent required by society to behave in a certain way. We're expected to adhere to a set of moral codes, social expectations, and normative behaviors, lest we be seen as less manly. Men are taught from the time they're able to walk that they need to adhere to these codes. Boys are told that they aren't supposed to cry or get emotional, that they need to be stoic hard workers, and that they need to avoid so many aspects of their humanity in order to properly adhere to this appropriate path into manhood. Thus, many boys grow up into adult men who are emotionally stilted in a variety of ways, or at a minimum have seemingly odd or maybe even harmful beliefs and opinions about what a man should or should not do. The whole point here in bringing this up is to recognize that for the most part, men are taught that we shouldn't want or need to feel special or appreciated or loved by our partners. I mean, ladies watching this right now, if you had to go and buy something for your man that you know would make him smile from his heart and feel loved, what would you get? Tools, some lingerie, maybe a watch or something else very typical and basic. It's probably relatively hard because we don't have a consumer culture built around buying things for men. There's an entire culture of consumerism built around showing a woman she is loved through jewelry, clothes, flowers, etc. And these things have their own set of problematic social codes attached to them. But as a man, if you want something, if you really want it, you're supposed to get it yourself. You aren't allowed to have other people buy things for you that make you happy. That could be seen as emasculating. And half of the things we get for ourselves are more symbolic of our status or function as men versus things that actually just bring us joy. Men buy watches, cars, fancy suits, because at their core, they're tools of work, efficacy, and status. Low key, they might as well just be power tools. Beyond that, the only other generally accepted thing to buy for a man is sex, in the form of maybe a special night that's all about him, or a trip to the strip club. But for the most part, to me, there's really only one thing that I can think of that men, at least of my generation, uniquely see as a tool for bringing only joy, and that's video games. Now, of course, women love games too and have loved them for a long time, but gaming is still ostensibly coded as a male thing. This is not me endorsing this as games are only for guys, full stop. But for a lot of men, especially again black men in my age range, video games represent the safest and most socially acceptable thing that you are allowed to enjoy purely for your own pleasure. Video games are not work. They don't represent status. They don't define you as a man. They aren't sexual. They are purely for fun. It's a similar reason as to why men love sports so much, which is sadly a major reason why gaming communities have become so incredibly toxic to non-male gamers in the previous decades. But that's a whole other video. If you are a non-gamer who is partnered with a man who plays video games, you may not fully understand, and he may not be able to fully articulate why he loves games so much, but I guarantee he feels very similar to what I'm describing right now. So if you're a man with a girlfriend or a wife, the idea of her buying you this item as an act of love, well, that's a unique thing. It's a rare opportunity for men to feel safely appreciated, cherished, and valued by their partners that doesn't pull directly at that classically masculine space. This is especially true for those men who don't have $500 sitting around for a gaming system. These memes are an invitation to contribute and share in that experience. So if you have a guy who's a gamer and hasn't already pre-ordered his PS5 or his new Xbox, man, buy him that shit if you can. I know it sounds like I'm overthinking this, but I promise he will appreciate that feeling of being gifted something just for his enjoyment. And then, most importantly, leave his ass alone while he plays. But maybe I'm wrong. In the comments, tell me the best gift you've gotten as a man that's not a video game, or the best gift you've given a man. Let's see how often it wanders outside of the ranges I talked about here. This has been Fiq the Signifier. I drop videos like this every few weeks. If you like what you see and you want to support the channel, please click the subscribe button and the bell. Leave a comment, let me know how you felt about things, do you agree, do you disagree? And if you have time on your hands, maybe because your man is playing his PS4 or PS5 right now, then stick around and watch some of my other videos. Thank y'all. Peace.